Hey everyone, I'm guessing Trish will finish shortly in the next, I don't know, 10 minutes or something. She doesn't normally go this long. As you can hear, my voice is not 100% today. I woke up with a very bad cold and my throat's been messed up all morning. That's why I didn't do a morning show because I almost couldn't speak when I first woke up. It's sort of loosened up a bit. Not perfect, but we'll see how we go. For people, while we wait, I'll show you what's going on in the world. Apparently, there was a stage collapse in Mexico. Here, I'll show you. My gloves on. Yeah, whole thing came down because of severe weather. There we go. Yeah, so you can see the lightning in the background. Whole thing came down. Pretty bad. 4 people dead, I think, right now. So I think Luckner's doing it right now. I saw him come on about 10, 15 minutes ago. So, yeah, there you go. Also, very sad story out of the USA from yesterday, if I can find it. Da, da, da. Here? Here. So it says officials identify woman who died when her car was blown off Adams County Highway during tornado. Yeah, I saw the actual. Here, I can show you the photo of it. Here, this is her car right here. Originally, they said it was a storm chaser, but I don't know. I looked her name up. I couldn't find anything, but it doesn't mean she wasn't. I couldn't find a brand, a Twitter account, something like that connected to her name. But that's all that was left of her vehicle after she got tossed by the tornado, and she died. Unfortunately, yeah, she died in the storm. Um, I can tell you her name. Her name is and her age. She's 46-year-old Monica Zamoran, and a friend of hers has made a GoFundMe for her. Unfortunately, here's a photo of her. They've already raised about $5,000 of the $10,000 target, and yeah, it just says here. It doesn't say anything on here about being a storm chaser. It says here, as many of you know, our family suffered the unthinkable on May 21st, 2024. My mother, Monica, was tragically taken away by the tornadoes that occurred in Corning, Iowa. My mother was very loved and will be missed dearly by her family and friends. We appreciate the love, support, prayers, and words of comfort. Damn it, I knew this was going to happen. Guys, hold on. I'll be back. Give me 5 minutes, okay? Hold on. Ay, ay, ay. There we go. Stupid Amazon. I waited like 10 extra minutes. I was like, "I'll just let Trish finish. They'll show up. I won't have to stop the show." And 2 minutes after we start, they ring me and they're like, "Hey, I'm at your door. Can you come and open the security door?" Ah, alright, so here we go. Back to this story. Um, Very sad. We, don't often get people killed in their cars like this. So all I can say is, hope to see less people die in this type of situation on a highway. I mean, her car didn't even look like a car. It looked worse than Tim Samaras and when their car got tossed by the El Reno tornado. So don't want to see it. Don't want to see it. Here you go. You guys can, if you came in late, that was her vehicle. I mean, it doesn't even look like a car, does it? It looks like some sort of scrap metal. Can't even tell where an engine might go. It's just horrible. All right. That's all right. I can barely speak a sentence. Yeah, I need something. All right, let's keep going. We have more to talk about tonight. No, we don't need the video about the tornado. I've got a million bloody links open. How was Trish? I know she had Joseph Scott Morgan on. I mean, he's always a lot of fun. Who doesn't want him on a show? I mean, I do. Wait. Sorry, I'm a little slow today, apparently, it seems. Poor Ping. Can't think straight. Can't think like a normal person. Come on. All right. There we go. All right, and WPVI.
All units responding. It's an active shooting.
A horrific and tragic workplace shooting shocked a Chester community.
Employee came to work today with a firearm, took out his anger on 5 employees he works with.
2 people died, 3 others were injured. The suspect is employed at an industrial linen company, and his coworker said he had made threats before.
I knew he was crazy, but I didn't think it would come to this.
The suspect is in custody tonight as police investigate a motive. Wednesday night, and the big story in Action News is the latest on that deadly violence that played out as employees headed into work today. It all unfolded at Delaware County Linen on the 2600 block of West 4th Street in Chester. The suspect was arrested at his home nearby. Action News reporter Caroline Goggin is live outside of Chester Police Headquarters with the latest on the investigation tonight. Caroline.
Well, Rick, that investigation into this tragedy is still very much underway. We spent most of the night on the scene here in Chester. It cleared around 7 o'clock tonight. And on that scene was the owner of the linen business where this mass shooting occurred earlier today. And there was also a group of people we believe to be family members of the victims and family members of the shooter. We know tonight that shooter is in custody waiting to be arraigned after officials tell us he shot 5 of his coworkers with a handgun earlier today. Tonight, people who live near Delaware County Linen and those who work at the Chester business are beginning to process what happened there this morning.
I was getting up to go to work, and I heard all this pop, 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 about 7 times.
James Pierce lives across the street and called 911 after gunshots rang out. The DA says it was a disgruntled employee who opened fire this morning, killing 2 of his co-workers and sending 3 others to the hospital.
They are in serious condition, and we are hopeful that they're able to survive.
The shooting happened around 8:30 at the business on the 2600 block of West 4th Street. Our Walter Perez spoke with a witness to the shooting, who said it started as an argument between the gunman and several of his co-workers.
I ran. He still was shooting when we left. He did a terrible thing.
After the shooting, police say the suspect fled the scene in his car. An officer from Trainer was able to identify that vehicle and notify authorities, who took the suspect into custody at Kane and Colhane Streets in Chester. Neighbors say the suspect lives on that block. At Delaware County Linen, the suspect's coworkers say he's been a problem and that he always carried a gun with him.
A lot of people.
I mean, if your coworkers say you're a problem and that you carry a firearm, I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Were you always destined to do something like this and they were just waiting for the day? I mean, if that's the first thing people think of when they ask about you, so what about the guy who worked here that just shot everyone? Yeah, he was always a problem. I mean, that's a bit of a statement from them.
Put a complaint for him in the office. No listen.
The mayor of Chester says one of the victims was a supervisor at the linen company. He says he was heartbroken to learn of this mass shooting in his city.
It's tragic. It has to stop. Chester, Pennsylvania never expected to be the epicenter of another episode of workplace violence.
Truly just a tragic situation here in Chester this morning that has really shaken this community. Officials tell us at this time they still do not know the suspect's motive, and they don't know if the victims in the shooting were targeted. Those are both things they hope to figure out as this investigation continues. We're live in Chester tonight. I'm Caroline Gog.
That is very concerning. Yeah, a cell block, not a block of units. That is very concerning. Anyone who goes to work and gets injured or shot by a person who, considered a work friend or something, it's not what I would consider, a great day at work. It says the gunman took his anger out on 5 of his former co-workers at an industrial laundry and linen company in the city of Chester on Wednesday, killing 2 people, wounding 3 others as workers at the business began their morning shifts, apparently. The shooting was reported at 8:30 a.m. at Delaware County Linen on West 4th Street in the city's West End. They said, describing what happened as a shooting by a disgruntled former employee. I don't know. How do you get disgruntled at a linen company? I don't understand that. Maybe they pay you in cleaning. I don't know. But whatever happened, it's not one we like to have. Now I have another one from the same area, Philadelphia, PA. This one's even weirder. It says here, Philadelphia police are investigating after 2 women were found stabbed to death inside the basement of a home. How do people get stabbed to death in a basement? They said the mother and daughter who were found stabbed to death in the basement of a home in Philadelphia have been identified as 75-year-old Angela Trejo and 58-year-old daughter Alma Barberina suffered multiple stab wounds each. Officers arrived at the home in the 6000 block of Bingham Street around 1:30 p.m. Tuesday after someone called 911. Both women were pronounced dead at the scene. There's no word on a motive for the stabbings and no arrests have been made. Action News has learned 2 men were taken in for questioning. Sources tell us one man, who is the husband of the 58-year-old victim, had cuts and blood on his hands. Well, that's normally a good indication someone has been handling a knife and slipped. Or it's defensive wounds. You have to figure it out. Investigators are calling this a domestic-related incident. They have not said who made the initial 911 call. Several miles from the scene, Philadelphia police executed search warrants at a home on Tuesday evening looking for evidence connected to the crime. Sources said at the home they found blood on the garage door. Sources also tell Action News blood was found on at least one of the 2 cars towed from the scene on Bingham Street. Neighbors on the street said they're trying to process what happened. They were excellent neighbors, and it's hard to believe. They said he and his wife had lived in the area across the street from where the stabbings happened for more than 50 years. He says Trejo lived in the home with her husband. He described them as good neighbors who were very active in the church. He also told us their daughter constantly stopped by to check on them. Someone always came, one of the daughters usually, sometimes twice a day, but someone always came to check up on them. There you go. We'll watch the little video too.
Found stabbed to death in the basement of a home in the city's Crescentville section. Investigators say 75-year-old Angela Trejo and her 58-year-old daughter, Alma Barberena, suffered multiple stab wounds. They were found at the home in the 1600 block of Bingham Street around 1:30 yesterday afternoon. Action News has learned 2 men were taken in for questioning. As of yet, no arrests have been made.
That's a pretty awful scene to come across. A 58-year-old and a 75-year-old, both women, mother and daughter, and then they find a man who has cuts to his hand and blood all over him, blood all over a car, blood all over a garage as well. That is a lot of random, like, you can't explain that away, can you? You can't be like, "Oh, yeah, it's just tomato paste." You know, I was cooking pasta and then I heard they died, so I ran around and I must have touched the car. I must have touched the garage. No, it's not gonna work like that. It's probably blood. Kathy Lynch says, "Was he trying to fold fitted sheets?" You know, I have something that does folding. It's like a plastic thing, and you can put something on there, and you go click, click, and then click, and it just folds it into squares. It was like $10, and I don't have to get yelled at anymore for scrunching stuff up and just putting it in the drawer. I can actually fold things up now. So maybe they need to get those. It might stop a shooting in the future. Right? I mean, isn't that an achievement, making it to 75? And you're like, "Is this really the end? Someone's gonna kill me after all I did? Come on, man. After all I got through." Yeah, I can show it to you. Hold on. Alright, I'll show you. Here. They look like this. And you sort of put it on, and then these all flip different ways, and it folds everything up very neat and tidy. I got one about 3 or 4 years ago because I kept getting yelled at from the lady saying, "Hey, my dresses don't go that way," or "My shirts can't do X, Y, and Z, and you can't just crumple them up, and they need to be in straight lines. I do more ironing in the morning." So, I got one of these. They're pretty good. If you if you hate folding stuff, it's probably a good investment for you. Yeah, they're pretty good. Yeah, that's right. Thingo has one. He has one too. That's right. Great for travel. I don't know if you could travel with it. Maybe if you used it as a surfboard. Huh. Hospital trucks. Okay. You learn all kinds of things, including folding machines. Yeah, I don't know why this one says $80. I think they're normally like $10 or something. Yeah, like $18. There you go. $20. Not much money. All right. Let's talk about more true crime. You know, I told you yesterday about the Lynn trial, and I told you some of the more personal details between the wife of Mr. Hill and um, sort of like some of their personal marital issues. Well, it came out a little bit after that that apparently they also found Viagra in Mrs. Clay's bin, all ripped up into tiny little pieces. They found a box of Viagra that had been torn up, and I'll show you. I won't show you the Viagra, but I'll show you the news report. Hold on. 1 second, people. There you go. Oh, shush. It says here, Greg Lynn trial. Slain camper Carol Clay had Russell Hill's ripped up Viagra label in bin. This is what we go to court for, people. We don't go to court to find people who killed people. We don't go to court to find, you know, people who are innocent or guilty. We don't go to find justice. We go to rummage around people's bins, bathroom bins, and learn all about their prescriptions. That's what we go to court for, apparently. We go to court to expose your Viagra habit. So it says here, a detective investigating the disappearance of an elderly couple who vanished on a camping trip has recounted the moment they discovered the ripped up label of a Viagra prescription as a jury heard the couple's accused killer painted his car shortly after they vanished. Yeah. We know that. He painted it into that ugly beige color. They said the former Jetstar pilot, geez, how many times do we have to read that? Gregory Stewart Lynn is facing trial in Victoria's Supreme Court after pleading not guilty to the murders of Russell Hill and Carol Clay. Wait, what day is it today? Hold on. There might be more good information. Hold on. I thought we'd skip days for a second. Yeah, no, I've got that. So Aaron Patterson was in court too. Did we get a date for trial? Okay. They're saying the case will return to court in August. So we've got about 2 months to get ready to go to court. That'll be very interesting. So if you're waiting on the day of when we're going to the Supreme Court, August, which is my birthday too. But we're heading to, yeah. So we got a couple of months. So that's interesting news. There you go. Aaron Patterson update. So, all right, back to this one. I just realized what day it was. I was like, wait, what day is it? Oh, Aaron Patterson. So it says here, through his lawyers, a 57-year-old is arguing the deaths were a tragic accident, not of his choosing, okay, but burying their bodies, burning their bodies, and moving their bodies. All of your choosing, right? Okay. Says, while prosecutors allege he killed them with murderous intent, likely after an argument over Mr. Hill's drone. Okay. It says on Wednesday, the 14-member jury heard from 9 witnesses, including Senior Constable Amy Frost, who led the police investigation in the weeks after the couple vanished in March 2020. The then detective said she began collating evidence after Mr. Hill and Mrs. Clay's charred campsite was located by police abandoned 2 days after Mr. Hill was reported missing on March 26. Yeah. We've seen the photos of that campsite all burnt out. Tent has been melted. Car is all charred up. So it says here, the Senior Constable Frost said she visited Mrs. Clay's home in early April to take statements from her family members before discovering the ripped up label of Mr. Hill's Viagra prescription in Mrs. Clay's bathroom bin. She told the jury she handed over the investigation to the Missing Persons Squad in mid-April. There's a photo of Mr. Lynn right there. He looks jovial almost. They said detectives noticed accused killer had repainted car. The jury heard the case was formally handed over to Detective Leading Senior Constable Abby Justin, formally on April 20. Called to give evidence, the detective said investigators had obtained Mr. Hill's records, which showed it had they obtained his phone records, which showed it had reconnected to the network around 10 a.m. on March 21st, the morning after he was allegedly murdered. She said the date indicated his phone was a substantial distance away from the Wanangata Valley, connecting the Great Alpine Road. So they would have found that very suspicious, considering they didn't even know if they had left that area or not, and their car was still there in the campsite. They say detectives later obtained 4 images from automatic number plate recognition cameras on Great Alpine Road, which captured Mr. Lynn's vehicle passing through the same time. Ooh. There we go. In the photos, Detective Justin said Mr. Lin's car was a grey-blue color, but when she attended his home on July 14th the same year, it was light brown. Yep, they accuse him of coloring or spray painting his car to help cover up the crime. Under cross-examination from Mr. Lin's barrister, she agreed the accused man's later account to police of painting the car a sandbank color following his trip to the valley did match her observations. Okay. So, yeah, this is how he got busted by this automatic number plate recognition system. Took a photo of his car as he was driving through, and yeah, he got done by a droid, by a robot. He got done by the AI. Says the former IT specialist at Hotham Alpine Resort, Timothy Lunn, told the jury he was approached by detectives and asked for access to images taken by the resort's automatic number plate cameras. He said there were 4 cameras on either side of Mount Hotham used to enforce entry fees. Between 9:40 a.m. and 10 a.m. on March 21st, he confirmed the cameras photographed 12 vehicles traveling along Great Alpine Road. Last week, Crown Prosecutor, so that's for the prosecution, told the jury Mr. Lin's Nissan Patrol and trailer were captured by the cameras at 9:48 a.m. as he made his way home from the Wanangata Valley. He said a short time earlier Mr. Lin had dumped Mr. Hill and Mrs. Clay's bodies in bushland off Union Spur Track near Dargo. And it says here, friends say Carol Clay sounded excited on March 19th. Yes, people often sound excited for reasons we'll never know. They just do. It's an unknown human emotion. We don't know why. It says Louise Heeb's police statement was read into evidence on Wednesday morning, describing how she met Mrs. Clay when she was the president of the Victorian Country Women's Association, and a friendship soon boomed. Okay, boomed. Mrs. Clay, the jury heard, had shared details about her relationship with Mr. Hill and would show beautiful pictures of the hikes they would go on. Carol Clay told me about her relationship with Russell. They were originally together when they were a lot younger, but when Carol started to get serious, Russell ended it. Apparently, it devastated her. Kind of devastated her too much because they were still together at like 75 years of age. And Mr. Hill's wife says he was seeing her for like 25 years, so kind of devastated her that much. Miss Heeb said she was told Mr. Hill didn't want to leave his wife because she was ill, but she believed this suited the quite independent Mrs. Clay. The jury was told the 2 women spoke on the phone on March 19 as the elderly couple were driving to the Wanangata Valley. She sounded excited to be out on the road and going camping, she said. Another employee at the Country Women's Association, her name is Amanda, had her police statement read to the court detailing how she received a call from Mrs. Clay the same day. The jury was told Mrs. Clay was trying to reach someone at the association who was unavailable. She told me she was going away for a couple of days and might be out of service. She was pleasant. Nothing in her voice seemed out of the ordinary. The prosecution said it was alleged Mr. Lin had acted with murderous intent, with Mr. Hill killed first and Mrs. Clay shot in the head as a witness soon after, so to cover up the original crime. He said it would be argued the elderly pair did not pose any threat to the former pilot, who was arrested and charged 20 months later in November 2021. So there you go. There's the update out of the Lin trial. We've heard about Viagra. We've heard about the Country Women's Association. We've heard about interpersonal relationships. But tomorrow is going to be my favorite part of this trial. It's going to be telephone evidence or cell phone data, which I love. Yeah, Reeve says, you sound unwell. Are you okay? I have the worst cold. Cheetah No More says, Ping, you are making Mr. Cheetah No More laugh so much tonight. Well, anytime I can make him laugh, I'm happy to do so. I have no idea what you're talking about. So yeah, that's interesting data, but I don't know what they care about the Viagra. Does that just confirm to them that they were somehow linked together early in the investigation? Like, are they just saying, "Oh, we had no real proof that they were together, but now that we found the Viagra, we have a solid bit of evidence that we can place them together." Because how else did she get his Viagra? I don't know. All right. Let me see if they have already released the cell phone data. Let me have a look. They have, but I sort of want to leave it until I can speak better, until my voice clears up, because we're going to go into a lot of technical data, and I don't want to be trying to do it with this voice. I woke up this morning and it was worse than this. I woke up and I sounded like Barry Manilow. I could have sung all sorts of songs from him. But I'll show you this. Erin Patterson, accused of mushroom murders, faces first hearing in Victoria's Supreme Court. And I'll show you why I didn't go. Well, it's good. One, I'm very sick. But two, I'll show you why. The woman accused of murdering 3 of her relatives by serving a beef Wellington laced with poisonous mushrooms has faced Victoria's Supreme Court for the very first time. Erin Patterson appeared via video link for the brief directions hearing as the court prepares for her upcoming murder trial. In November, prosecutors charged Ms. Patterson with 3 counts of murder over the deaths of her father-in-law, Don, her mother-in-law, Gail, and her extended relative, Heather, who attended a lunch at her home in July 2023. They have also charged Ms. Patterson with attempted murder of Ian Wilkinson, another relative who attended the lunch, but he survived after a stint in hospital. It wasn't just a short stay in hospital. He was there for months, had a liver transplant, and was almost dead. He almost died. And I wouldn't call it a brief stint in hospital. I would say he was in a very precarious situation between life and death because of these mushrooms, apparently. So police allege Miss Patterson also attempted to murder her estranged husband, Simon Patterson, in July 2023 on 2 occasions, and 1 occasion in 2023. No. We got it mixed up. They're saying they allege she attempted to kill her estranged husband, Simon, in July 2023, and then on 2 more occasions in 2022, and then another occasion in 2021, all up 4 different times over about 2 different years. So she really tried to knock him off. She almost did it. He went to hospital, ended up in a coma for a stomach ailment that they couldn't figure out, and he almost died in hospital. And then she pretended to nurse him back to health when he was released from hospital. So very, very odd. Why would you try kill him and then nurse him back to health? So it's a little weird. Hold on, I need a drink. Hold on. All right, there we go. I feel a bit better. Oh my God, who is messaging me? Hold on. Okay. I'm going to buy a present for Mrs. Ping. She doesn't know yet. I just asked her, "Do you like this?" And she's like, "Yes, I like it." And I'm going to buy it for her. Because she needs it. So you kind of want to hear me sing Barry Manilow? No, I won't do that to you. The movie Misery is coming to mind, maybe. Yeah, I don't really understand why I get sick and my voice gets deeper. How does that work? Shouldn't it get more like weirder or non-existent. I don't know. So they're saying here most of the details from the Melbourne based hearing that was today before Judicial Register Tim Freeman cannot be reported for legal reasons. So yes, I told you that a couple of weeks ago. We probably wouldn't hear very much out of today's hearing. Normally your first hearing it's a directions hearing, right? I can't remember what it is. It's some sort of first hearing, but it's basically they just tell you the lay of the land. You haven't been to the Supreme Court before. Your lawyers haven't. I mean, they have, but not for this particular case. You know, neither have the police, and you haven't met the register before. So they sit you down. They go, well, you know, this is a pretty complex case. We're going to have like over 100 witnesses be called. This could take, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, could be a very long trial. So what do you need to get in order before you go to trial? What do you need? Any recommendations that you want to tell each other? No, yeah, okay, we can get that done before we see each other again. Look, I'll book you in for August. That gives you a couple of months to tie up any loose ends and get ready for trial. And that's basically what happened today. It's just a informal meeting, basically. A classic pump up song. Okay. Me, I like do you know what I like? And I'll show I can't play it, but I can show you. Hold on. It's got to be Easy Lover by Phil Collins, right? That's you want a classic kind of date night pump up song. It's got to be Easy Lover if you're a guy. I like that song anyway. It's a good song. Hey, Andrew says, how are you? I have no idea what you're talking about. Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. Do you know they came out here recently as the original group. I don't know if Mark was in it or it was just his brother or something, but they were here recently, and I know they're touring again as the original band. Wasn't his brother also in New Kids on the Block? Wasn't New Kids on the Block and Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch all connected? I don't know. I'm not very good with that music, but I thought they were. We do. We have meetings to organize meetings, to have more meetings, because then you have to have a safety meeting. But before the safety meeting, you have to have another meeting to discuss the meeting that you'll have about the safety meeting, because you want to talk about the safety that might happen at the safety meeting, so everyone's all aware, and then you have to go to the OH&S meeting afterwards to get more safety. You don't actually do anything. You just organize meetings. That's what our council and government do. They just organize meetings, and no work gets done. You just go to meetings every day. Hmm. Yeah, it was his brother, right? But I know were they touring together recently? Hold on. No, I just said they were connected, which I know they are. But I know they were touring recently. Yes, it was basically a meeting to organize another meeting for another meeting in August. So they'll be back in August. I think we're going to go to trial. We're going to go to trial in August. So I think the justice has given them 2 months to get any special requests, any documentation, anything like that, get ready. I think anyway, let me have a look. Yeah, the case will return to court in August. Media outlets will be allowed to report when a trial date has been selected. They will also be able to cover the trial itself and provide regular daily updates. That's me. That's what I'll be doing. Case will return to court in August. I think. I would say if we don't go in August, we'll be very soon after because they wanted to fast track this. That's why they chose this option. The other option was wait, I think they were saying like 14 plus months to have it out in the country courthouse. And the justice that was out there was like, I don't want to keep your client in jail for over a year just so you can have your trial out here. And then he gave them a couple of different options. And one of the options was head to the Supreme Court and get a fast track trial. That's the option they ended up choosing, was to go fast track trial. So I'm guessing we're going to be in trial within the next few months. I would have thought it would have been August, but the fact that they're not reporting a block of dates within the Supreme Court calendar concerns me that it might not end up being August either, and that we may end up being something like, it may be my original guess. My original guess was that we're going to go to trial in October or November. It may end up being something like that. Just depends when the Supreme Court has room to host such a massive trial. We'll see. You want to start a cover band called Mary Mark. It can be a feminist group based out of Boston, and you can sing feminist classics about women's rights and stuff like that. There you go. Witches Brew. Okay. Walk on the Wild Side. Never underestimate the power of Barry Manilow. All right. I won't ever again. All right. Let's see what else we got. I think it's going to be a pretty short show. I really need to get some rest. So, and hopefully by tomorrow I'll be all right. I'm hoping this is a 24-hour bug. I hope I don't have COVID. I can't guarantee that I don't. If I feel any more crap later on tonight, I'll end up doing a COVID test and I'll see how I go. But right now, I had COVID like 2 years ago and I felt way worse than this, even on day one. And on day one last time I had it, I felt like someone had literally, while I was sleeping, snuck into my bedroom, opened a box of razor blades, poured them into my throat, and then changed all the water in my house for lemon juice. That's exactly what that's exactly what it felt like when I woke up. It felt like I was just spraying lemon juice down my throat on a bunch of razor blades. It was awful. Worst sore throat I've ever had. This isn't nearly as bad. It's sort of about 10% of when I had COVID, so it's probably just a cold. It's winter here. It's cold here. So Sean says poisonous mushrooms and bat wings going to witch's brew. Hemlock. I don't know what hemlock is. It's a plant, right? Yeah, I'm going to see if we can do one more and then I'm going to get out of here, okay? I just didn't want to not do anything. I just wanted to at least do a short show just to keep the analytics very happy, because YouTube is bonkers. You miss one day, they cut your algorithm in half. So you miss one day, you have to build it back up again, and it takes weeks to do. And it's just a pain in the bum. YouTube's just a bit of a annoying like that. Okay. All right, let's do this one. This is pretty good. I read about this in the paper today. Let's see if I can get you a video on it, because it's pretty good. All right, here we go.
First Alert 4 investigates has learned the Hazelwood teen charged in a fight that left another teenage girl with brain damage will not be charged as an adult. A judge ruling the case involving the 15-year-old suspect will remain in juvenile court. The fight in March left 16-year-old Kaylee Gaines severely injured. During a certification hearing earlier this month, juvenile officers recommended the case stay in juvenile court, citing the teen's record of good behavior. The 15-year-old involved in that fight still faces charges of first-degree assault. Again, that case will stay in the juvenile court. No word yet on when that case will go to trial.
The important thing is for us to be there when her.
So talk about a twist, right? Originally, when everyone saw that video of that girl getting beat up, we all thought, oh my God, that poor girl. Now we find out it's not poor girl. She is actually the bully. And she was getting a little bit of payback. She was getting some payback from a student who was actually an honor student. They actually brought the teachers to the courtroom, and the teachers told the court, you've got this all mixed up. The girl who got her ass beat is actually the bully. She was suspended only 24 hours beforehand for getting in another fight. The girl who was on camera beating her up was lured into the fight by that girl. And normally that other girl has never been in trouble, is a straight A student, has no bullying on her record, and you've got this all mixed up. So, I mean, it was a pretty brutal beating. She copped it. I think she ended up being in a coma. It took her like weeks to walk, that type of thing. She ended up walking. I think she had to learn how to walk again after about 8 weeks in hospital. So it was a pretty bad beating, but it was because she's the bully, because everyone was sick of her crap. So it says here, a Missouri judge ruled on Wednesday that a 15-year-old girl will not be prosecuted as an adult for an altercation in March that left a classmate with serious brain injuries. Yep. They said the students who cannot be publicly identified due to age will remain in the juvenile court system. The deputy juvenile officer who conducted the certification investigation recommended to the judge that the case stay in the juvenile court. Good. The victim was identified as 16-year-old Kaylee Gain, reportedly suffered severe brain injuries on March 10, altercation that transpired near Hazelwood East High School. The suspect was reportedly filmed slamming Gain's head into the asphalt concrete in the middle of the street. Well, you F around and you find out. So she obviously found out. There's a photo of a juvenile charged in fight that hospitalized Kaylee Gain will not be charged as an adult. Yep. I'll see if I can find the details of it. No, that's not it. Hold on. There was a lot of background information that was given. Here, let's see if we can find it. So it's also alleged that Gain, the girl who ended up in hospital with the brain injuries, initiated the fight and threw the first punch, and was suspended for fighting another girl just the day prior to that fight. So this sweet girl that you see on the screen that everyone thinks is the darling in the situation is actually not. There's a bit of a screen capture from the video with the other girl smacking her head on the concrete. So I'm just trying to see if there's a bit more background here. Officers cited both of the girls' school records and said Gain was a serial bully at her school who picked on, is her name Declue, before their fight and had been suspended the day before for another fight. It was also recently revealed that the girl, they call her Declue, but I don't know what her real first name is. But apparently she was an honor student who skipped the 7th grade and has been said to be on good behavior while locked up in juvenile detention. So apparently they called in their teachers and anyone who knew both the girls, and they got a very different visual of who these two girls are. She was painted as a serial bully who, just is a living tornado. And the other girl was painted as a honor student who really never steps her foot out of line and, has been good to everyone. So, here's a photo of Kaylee Gain. There's a photo. Hey, you just never know. You never know. You get what you ask for, or what the kids say now, the old F around and find out. There could still be a civil case, you're right, because that girl, even though she may be the bully in the situation, the results of that fight were dramatic. I mean, it almost killed her. She was in hospital with like severe brain swelling. I think she had like a fractured skull, very serious injuries. So I haven't seen anything on Debbie Collier in a while. No, I haven't seen much, to be honest. I wish there was more, but I think they've just written it off as a tragic accident. So I don't know what you want to say about that. Hold on. Sorry, I had to cough, and look who jumped up behind me. Hey, Mr. Muffin, what are you doing? He keeps trying to steal my chair. Hey, hey, I see you. And you need to use her as like a teaching moment to other students. Be like, don't bully. This is might what happened to you. Wait, that doesn't make sense. This is what might happen to you. Yeah, maybe. Maybe as part of her sentencing, you can send her to like do talks to youth groups about bullying. You can be like, one day I was a bully, and then I got my ass beat. I'm no longer a bully. I'm a reformed, born again, person. I will never bully again. Neither should you. There you go. I'm the muffin. Yeah. He's keeping me warm. He's just, yeah, maybe. The Koberger case, I've been following it from day one. We just don't do a lot of it on this channel because there's so many other channels that are doing the daily, almost daily court hearings. But if we ever go, when we finally go to trial, I will cover it like more intensely. But right now, I think they're just in main arguments and this and that, and yeah, breaking pet news. Hey, he is not like a sympathetic cat. He's very like, I just want the seat because it's comfortable, and this is where I sit, isn't it, buddy? I'm patting him here. Hey, buddy. He's a good cat though. Yeah, tomorrow we'll be doing cell phone tower analysis from the Lynn trial. And I'm going to take you through what I can find from the reporters, and at least I can break it down and show it to you because I know what I'm talking about with it. So I can tell you a little bit more about it than what they're telling you in the media. Evil Alaska says community service talking at schools about the consequences of being a bully. Yeah, I think it's a good idea. She should have to do a year of this type of thing, once a month, every month for 12 months to, really set the message in that don't bully people. Okay, I think I'm going to jump off. By the way, Canva has been fixed. They sent me an email last night. I can go back. They've accepted my new credit card, and I can finally start editing new ending videos for us. I can add all the names from the last week or so, and I'm going to do a new background, new music, that type of thing. So that'll be really good. We've got Canva back, and Diane Marie says, depends on her brain damage what her future capabilities are. Pretty sure she should be able to talk. I'm pretty sure she can anyway. Let me have a look. What was her final injuries before we go? Here. A portion of Kaylee's skull was removed. It has still not been put back in place. Weeks after the father of the St. Louis schoolgirl, whose beating horrified much of the nation, revealed She endured a childhood marred by drugs. Okay. Let me see if there's anything else about her current condition. I don't see anything, but I can try and find it for tomorrow. I thought she was out of hospital. I thought I read that she's now doing like rehab. So, Kaylee Gain, let's have a look. Okay, so she spent a month in hospital and 2 weeks in a rehab facility. She's returned home. She suffers from short-term memory loss and must wear a helmet. Yeah, I can tell you, when I fractured my skull when I was 14, I didn't have to. Wait, did I have to wear a helmet? Maybe. I can't remember. Actually, there you go. Short-term memory loss. Maybe I got long-term memory problems. But when I fractured my skull, I came home. I was in the hospital for about a month, and I remember, I had to wear some sort of protective headgear for a little while. But they said I couldn't play contact sports for 2 years after the fracture, which means it wiped out any chance of me going to pro level. Because at the time I was just about to go into what you guys would consider the college sort of level of athletes, and I would have missed it by not being able to do 2 years of contact sports. So it took away sport for me, unfortunately, by having a fractured skull. Yeah, the helmet might. Well, no, they also don't like when you fracture your skull or you have part of your skull taken out due to brain swelling. They don't want anything touching your head at all. Nothing. They don't want any accidental bump. They don't want any, you know, an anvil falling from the sky. They don't want Roadrunner accidentally pushing a whole lot of TNT onto your head. Nothing. So, I was hit by a car. I was rollerblading across a 6-lane highway, and I got to the middle medium strip. I was fine, and I went to run to go for the second part, and I got about halfway across and realized the cars were too close, and I tried to go back to the medium strip, and I got picked up by the car in the inside lane. Car was doing about 60 miles an hour, so football. I used to play football and basketball. I used to play both. Yeah, I used to play for Para Eels, Sean. I used to play for the junior side for Parramatta Eels. They used to play at Richie Benno Oval in North Parramatta. That was our training ground when I was a young kid. Yeah, they almost had to do it for me too, but it didn't. The swelling came down, and they didn't feel the need to do it. Same thing. Stick to EA Sport. Yeah, I like it. I like the NFL one. What's it called? Madden. So yeah, I don't even know if they train there anymore. Aren't they out in like Kellyville now? Aren't they? Didn't they move their training facility out to like Kellyville, which is ages away? I don't know. I don't watch football anymore. Anyways, I'm gonna get out of here. I love you all. I don't have a way of checking the. I didn't hear anything. All right, hold on. I will check. All right. I will thank Sean. Sean, thank you very much for your donation. I appreciate it. It's very kind of you. Sean says I live next to that field. Not sure, but they train there too. Okay. I'll feel better hopefully by tomorrow when we have to come back for day 10 of the Lynn trial. Hopefully I'll be feeling a lot better tomorrow. Yeah. Sorry about the crappy show. You don't have to watch it if you don't want to, but we should have a better one tomorrow. Okay? Hey, get some sleep. You guys don't get sick like me, okay? Hey, Calissa, how are you? Yep, I'm gonna go lie down on the couch, and I'm gonna let Muffin have the seat here. All right, hey, I love you all. Thank you all for being amazing viewers of this channel. I'm sorry today was so terrible, and yeah, if you like what you see, how thrown together tonight was, please subscribe to this channel. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Until then, I'll be back tomorrow night. See you later, everyone. Bye.